Hello everybody, what's going on? I am back with another video here on my second channel. Today is Saturday, October the 14th, 2023, and the time right now is like 5:17 p.m. right now. And before I get started with the video, I want to say that today is National Fire Alarm Day. So, here's how I want to celebrate that. Alright, anyways, now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the topic of the video. And first of all, I haven't really done much of any rants on this channel in a while. For one, I just haven't felt like it. Second, I had no storage on my iPad to do that. And freaking third, I just didn't really, know what to rant about. Well, today I know what I'm going to rant on. If you haven't seen the title, this is going to be a rant on stern people and how much I hate stern people. And I can't stand it when people are stern or when they're strict. By the way, strict and stern are pretty much the same thing. They pretty much have the same meaning and definition. So, yeah, but, I just really hate when people are stern. And, I can tell you a lot of incidents where I had to deal with that crap where people were stern to me. So, that's what this video is going to be about. And before I get into that, if you don't know what it means to be stern or strict, whatever word you wanted to use, basically what being stern means is when you're hard on people, when you're yelling at people for something very little, when you're just giving people a hard time and you're being mean. That's what it means to be stern. I personally think it's unacceptable. You should never treat people like that. The only event it's okay to be stern is when, for example, people are, giving someone a hard time themselves. They're not following directions or misbehaving on purpose. Then that might be an acceptable time to be stern. But other than that, being stern is unacceptable. So, I'm going to share with you a couple incidents where I had to deal with that. And I'll tell you, one incident was last year in my senior year of high school. It was September 2nd, 2022. I was in one of my tech ed classes, and we were going over a safety lesson on how to hold scissors the right way. And we were all, there was like 20 students in my class. We were all at the back of the classroom. The teacher was right there, and he had scissors in his hand. And I was in front of the class. So he decided he was going to pick me to demonstrate. Even though I didn't want to do it, he pretty much picked me. So that was one ignorant thing that the teacher did, but that's not what the video is about. So, because he chose me to demonstrate, I had to demonstrate how to hold scissors the right way. So he handed over the scissors to me. He said, "Dale, demonstrate how you would hold the scissors properly." So he gave me the scissors, and I had to hand them back to him properly. So I did that, and I handed him the scissors, holding, the blade towards him. And he was like, "Nope, that's not how you do it." Oh my God, that was embarrassing. My face was all red. I was sweating. Oh my God. Like, my face was literally all red. And I literally kind of had tears in my eyes. I literally almost cried. I literally had to look down for like 10 minutes because of it. It's like, seriously, God, like, you don't treat people like that. Like, for one, no one's perfect. You don't criticize people for not being perfect. I don't care what it is. People are not perfect. Especially because I have short-term memory loss and, I'm a sensitive person. I have social anxiety. I'm definitely not going to be perfect. So that was unacceptable of him to do that. And freaking... Not to mention, he was also very hard on us. And, when we would want to use a certain sketch in that class, he would tell us, "No, don't use that. Use this." It's like, God. Like, stop telling us what to do. Stop being bossy. Let us use what we want. And it just felt like he would always judge us. And he was always judgmental, and gave us a hard time about certain things. It's like, God, you don't do that. So yeah, another time I had to deal with a stern person was this summer, actually. I think it was towards the end of the summer, but this was when I went to Ocean Beach Park this summer, and I wanted to go on the water slides. So I handed there was this old man there, so I handed him the money, right? I handed him the money to go on the water slides, and he was like, oh my God, he was a dick. Like, you know what happened when I handed him the money? He said to me, what is this? And I'm like, dumbass, it's the freaking money to go on the damn water slides. I obviously didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking, you know. So he asked me that, and I was like, this is the money for the water slide. And he was like, what's this money for? Is it for you, or is it for everyone else? And I'm like, it's for me. And he's like, no, it's not. It's for everyone else with you. And I'm like, that doesn't make no sense. You know, that money is for me. Everyone else has their own money, you know. That guy is delusional and obviously didn't know that. Like, that money was for me to get in. And he was giving me a hard time because of it. So he wouldn't take the money. Oh, I was pissed off. I was frustrated. Of course, I was a little upset and hurt because of my sensitivity. So I had to have my friend's mom help me. Just to get the money. You know, because he was being a dick. And then at the end, he asked me if I was good. Because I'm assuming he probably knew I was pissed at him. It's like, what the hell do you expect if you're going to treat me like that? It's like, God. And that was totally uncalled for of him to treat me like that. It's like, see, like, stop giving people a hard time, dude. Like, come on. Like, we go there to have fun, not to get treated like crap. You know? It's like, it's freaking stupid. You know, another time I had to deal with people being stern is also this summer when I had my CVS job. My caseworker was pretty stern, and she was, you know, she was hard on me for stuff, and it made me really frustrated. It's like, lady, listen, you don't have to be hard on people to teach them things in life. You don't have to do that. You know why? Because it stresses them out. You should be easy on people. One step at a time, be easy on people. Like, don't be ignorant about crap. Don't be hard on people. That's not solving anything. It's like, come on. Like, especially because I have memory loss and social anxiety, and I can't remember all of that crap at once there at the job, so come on. And she needs to understand that instead of giving me a hard time about it. You know, that was not appropriate. You know, and I remember all the way back in my 5th grade, this was another incident I had to deal with a freaking stern paraprofessional. She was mean and freaking... She always gave me a hard time, and freaking... I was being slow on something at one point, and she was like, come on! It's like, God, don't freaking talk to me that way, lady. It's like, right? Have you ever heard of the damn golden rule? Treat people the way you want to be treated? It's like, seriously. It's like, it's not even hard to treat people with respect. And people have to be stern because they think it's okay, or they think they're entitled to treat people any way they want. And you know what? When it comes to a teacher or someone, for example, working at the Ocean Beach Park, for them to be stern like that, honestly, that's unacceptable. If they can't treat people properly, they might as well step the hell down from their job. Because that's not okay. It's like, especially because I'm a sensitive person, I take that offensively. You know? Teachers and, you know, other people need to be understanding when it comes to sensitivity. And when you're stern, that's not showing understanding. You know? It's like, people like that obviously don't care. Because if they cared, they wouldn't be stern. They would be understanding. You know? So I can't stand stern people. Like, again, I get when you're stern because people are, you know, being naughty or whatever, for example. But if someone's sensitive and they're just, you know... Come on. Being stern is wrong. You're just making them feel less of a person. And you're making them feel like they're, you know, worthless. And it's not okay. You should never treat people like that. It's like, God, like... Treat people the way you want to be treated, you know? You know, don't embarrass people for one if you're a teacher and you're trying to teach people things. Like, you don't have to embarrass people to do it. If that's doing it the hard way, that is wrong. You should be easy on people. Not to mention, you know, the first incident I mentioned in the video, the teacher could have either demonstrated it himself or freaking... Everyone could have raised their hands, and whoever wanted to demonstrate it could have demonstrated it. He didn't have to pick on me to do it. That was wrong. Even though, you know, that's off topic from the video. But yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. I think I already mentioned that before, where I hate when teachers call on me. So that's a different topic. Even though I hate that a lot too, believe me, I hate that. That's really ignorant. But that's for a whole different video. This video is about stern people and why I hate stern people. Because they stress people out and they make people feel less of a person than they already are. I do not think that's appropriate. I do not think that is acceptable. I do not agree with that behavior at all. If you're gonna be stern, you shouldn't be working then. I don't care if you need to make money. You need to treat people right. You need to treat people the proper way. Be kind. Don't be stern. Don't be strict. That is not acceptable. And, you know, same thing goes with parents. I'll even say that about parents. It's another thing I want to mention. Sometimes, you know, I would sleep in for school, right? Because it happens. I'm not perfect. Sometimes my alarm doesn't go off, or, you know, it does, but I, you know, barely hear it and I fall back asleep. Or I hear it and it wakes me up, but I just eventually fall back to sleep. Because, you know, that happens sometimes, especially when you're really tired. And sometimes my mom will yell at me for it. And mind you, I'm already stressed out enough from waking up as it is, sleeping in. You know, I'm already stressed out realizing, oh my god, I'm late. And I remember a couple weeks ago, this literally happened to me 3 days in a row. I'm not even joking, it happened 3 days in a row. Oh my god, it was stressful. And my mom yelled at me for it. It's like, Dale, you should wake up at, you know, when your alarm goes off. It's like, god damn, like, don't yell at me. It was an accident. You know, it's like pretty much you're shaming me for not being perfect. It's like another thing about life is no one is perfect, so you don't shame people for not being perfect. Like, I understand sleeping in too much is bad, but it's still no excuse to be stern. Like, God. That's still not an excuse to, you know, be hard on me for. It's like, I'm not a retard. I know it's bad. I'm not stupid. I'm not a freaking idiot. It just happened. It's an accident. I didn't do it purposely, you know? It wasn't just a couple weeks ago. It's happened a couple years ago, too, where my mom would yell at me for it. It's like, come on. Don't do that. You know, never be hard on your kids for something like that, especially something they didn't intend to do. Never be hard on them. If they do it purposely, I can understand, but if it's an accident, come on. You don't just sit there and yell at them. Like, they're already stressed out enough. Come on. It's pretty much child abuse when you're hard on your kids for something like that. Like, come on. If I was a parent, I would say, hey, it's no big deal. Crap happens. You know, being hard on your kid is not going to solve anything. All it's going to do is just stress them out. Like, do you really want to stress out your kids? Is it really worth it? I don't think so. That's why you don't want to be hard on your freaking kids, you know? It's not solving a damn thing. You know, it's not a big deal. You know, crap happens. You know, never shame people for not being perfect, you know? Perfection doesn't exist, so don't shame people for that. Like, no one's ever going to be perfect. Not to mention, not everyone wakes up at the same time every morning anyway, so sleeping in once in a while, hey, it's going to happen. Honestly, nowadays, I just try not to let it get to me anymore. I say if it happens, it happens. I just pray to God my mom doesn't yell at me for it. Even though she claims herself it's not a big deal, but then she'll yell at me for it sometimes, which is, you know, hypocritical, but yeah, I'm not going to go into that too much, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say, but yeah. I mean, parents in general are ignorant like that. It's ridiculous. You know, when you're strict, yeah, that's wrong. Like, never be like that. And, another time I had to deal with stern people is, you know, at the frickin' pool in, my state, South Windsor. I don't live in South Windsor, but, yeah, there's this pool in my state. It's a good pool, but the problem is the lifeguards there, mainly the female lifeguards, are super ignorant. And the last time I went there was actually this summer, and I actually had a good time that day. And I didn't get yelled at by the lifeguards there, because that day there were male lifeguards, and they seemed a lot nicer, so I liked that. But when I went there back in June 2021, late June of 2021, I had to deal with ignorant, rude, strict lifeguards. They were being ignorant and mistreating people, and again, I was a victim of that, and so was my friend, but I'm going to mention that when I had to deal with that. So, I think it was June 28th of 2021. I think that was the date. I remember I was gonna jump off the diving board. My friend, he was in the water after he just jumped off, but he was getting out. He wasn't in front of me, he was off to the side. I jumped in from the diving board. I still got yelled at from the lifeguard. Hey, you have to wait. You can't go in yet until he's all the way to the ladder. It's like, freaking, listen, I would understand if he was in front of me. That would be understandable. But if he's off to the side, come on. That's just being too strict. Like, you don't freaking do that. Of course, I was upset and that ruined my day because of my sensitivity. Come on, like, don't be stern like that. Like, you're not solving nothing. That's not keeping people safe. That's just ruining people's days. It's like, never ever be hard on people. That's never ever appropriate. Like, seriously, that ruined my day. Frickin'. Even my friend was like, hey, Dale, the lifeguard's talking to you. It's like, God damn, come on. That was just unacceptable. And after that, I felt uncomfortable going off the diving board. After that, I always made sure whoever was, before me was getting out first. So I didn't have to deal with that bull crap again. It's another reason why I hate public pools, because sometimes the lifeguards will be strict and, overdo it with the rules. No splashing. First off, what's wrong with splashing? Who cares? If people want to splash, let them splash. They want to have fun. But when it comes to people jumping off the diving board with someone in front of them in the water, that I understand. But if they're off to the side, who cares? Let them jump in. That's not dangerous, because they're not in front of you. So no one would get hurt if, unless you're jumping off to the side, but I never did that. I always jump off, like, right in front of me, Like, that's how you're supposed to jump off a diving board anyways, so. Yeah, they were stern, and that was unacceptable. Safety is no excuse to that. You still have to treat people right. Like, they could at least been nicer to me about it. At least, They could have at least been nicer, more respectful. But no, they had to be strict. It's like, God, like, that was not okay. That is not how you treat people. I'll tell you what, another incident I had to deal with someone being stern was... This was back in April 2019 when I was living at my Uncle Steven's house. After we moved out of our old house, before we moved into here. He was being strict. We weren't allowed to have the windows open in our room. We couldn't vacuum because it was too noisy, which was ridiculous. We couldn't even eat in the frickin' room because it would make a mess. We couldn't even use the bathroom in the end either, without freaking getting yelled at. And those were rules me and my mom had to go by, from my own uncle. To my mom, that was her brother, but to me, it's my uncle. Sorry. But, yeah, so it's just, it's freaking ignorant. Like, that's not how you treat people. You're supposed to give people freedom. And, I almost forgot. I could barely use my fire alarms there. I could never turn on my horn because it would distract neighbors. Like, it wouldn't matter if I had it on low volume either. I still couldn't do it. I remember one time, even just for the strobe, I got yelled at. Like, come on! Let me do my fire alarms. Who gives a crap? For those of you, who were watching my YouTube at that time, you know why I didn't do as many vacuuming videos then. I wasn't allowed to. It was ridiculous. Because my own family had to be strict. Which was unacceptable. Like, first off, you need to respect your family. You only get one biological family, so you need to treat them right. And secondly, it's like, God, you're making us feel like we're in a freaking prison when we're not. That was just ridiculous. Freaking another time I had to deal with a freaking stern person. And, remember that old moron I've mentioned who confronts me when I was filming a garbage video? Well, yeah, he was pretty stern. When he was questioning me. What are you doing? Yeah, I see that, but why? Well, take me out of it. Like, he was assuming he was in the video when he wasn't. either way, I wasn't even intending to film him. He pretty much brought it on himself by walking over there anyways. He was being a dick. Like, seriously, you don't just question people. And I also had to deal with the person being a dick. This happened also over a year ago during the summer of 2022. I was going to the beach that day, and as I was waiting for my friend's mom to pick me up, I was pretty much on the sidewalk. I didn't realize I was on the grass a little bit, on someone's lawn. And it turns out that person was just coming from the CVS, which was where I was pretty much at. And he said to me, "I live here, what are you doing?" He was rude about it and everything. So I consider that being stern. It's like, come on, don't treat me that way. Like, for one, I wasn't intentionally trying to be on your grass. Even if I wasn't really affecting anything. So freaking what? Stop being a freaking moron. It's like, the thing I don't understand about people is why can't they treat others the way they want to be treated? Instead, they have to be stern and think it's okay when it's not. And I also have that ETLA program where I'm at right now, and one of the teachers there is stern. I'm not going to mention their name, but yeah, I don't really think that's appropriate because, like, again, for one, I'm sensitive to that, and secondly, you don't have to be stern to teach people about the future because you're going to stress them out. You know, you could ruin their day and all that crap, and, you know, so yeah, they need to stop being stern because it's ridiculous. You know, like, treat me right. You know, being stern is not treating people right. So yeah, this is my video. I hate when people are stern. You know, they need to get their crap together. They really do, because I'm tired of being treated like that. You know, that's unacceptable. So yeah, have a great day, everyone. If you want to share some moments where you had to deal with people being stern, feel free. Post some comments about it. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, just have a great day, everyone. And yeah, I'm just gonna go relax. And yeah, so yeah, I'm sure everyone will agree with this video. So hit that like button, subscribe, have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you later.